Welcome back, cheese bags, to the K&A Football Podcast. As you can probably tell, depending on where you're watching, you're either seeing or hearing me. I'm not Caden. I am Sue Ellen. I'm in place of Caden today because our co-host Caden has gone to a better place. That better place being on a couch at home, probably watching the episode right now under anesthesia because he had his wisdom teeth removed. So, I, Sue Ellen, Master of Football, will take his place. And we'll keep you updated on what's been happening recently in the NFL with free agency and how it'll shake up the league. This is K&A Football. Alrighty, Austin. It's been a wild little bit for some football. For those of you that are at home, I am not the most knowledgeable when it comes to football, but I'm like you guys at home. You watch the episode to learn about football. I'm here to ask the questions that you guys are asking as a fellow not huge fan of football. But that's why we have Austin here to fill us in on everything that's going on. Caden's probably at home screaming at his TV whenever I make some stupid comment, but
100%. The group chat's just gonna be full of Caden.
I cannot wait.
Very upset. I'm really excited to be done with this episode, see what he has to say about all that stuff.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be so funny.
I hope that he's in the live chat. He should comment. Caden, if you're watching right now, go ahead and comment in the live chat. Let us know you're here. Show us some love.
Yep. My mom is also watching this episode, so shout out to you, Mom. Love you.
Good stuff right there.
Yep.
So, like you said, NFL free agency, the official end and beginning of the new season happened on March 15th. So a couple things happened before then, but a lot has happened since then.
Yeah.
I feel like not 3 hours goes by without my phone alerting me from both the NFL and Bleacher Report that someone else has been signed, someone else has been cut, someone else has been traded, something else has happened. Now, unfortunately, a large number of these signings and these trades and all of this stuff happens between lesser name players.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, I could go on for the next 45 minutes listing all of the people that the Browns have cut, traded, and signed, right? Because that's what I care about. I see all these things and I love it. Unfortunately, I have never heard of most of these people before that happened.
And neither has anyone else. So.
Right, exactly. So I can't exactly jump into this and be like, well, this is all of the people who have ever been traded in the history of since March 15th, because no one would know who those people are. It's not like the NBA where they get this trade deadline and then they're like, okay, let's just trade literally everybody.
Kevin Durant, just randomly to the Suns, out of the blue.
Every team just gets shaken up, and it's just like, well, we got a whole new team. So it's like it's like in backyard football, right? You got two teams, and one team just seems to be a little overpowered. So after they go up by 3 scores, you're like, okay, guys, that's the end of this game. Let's repick teams. That's what the NBA. That's what the NBA is like. Everyone just redrafts the whole thing. Everyone's different. Fortunately, the NFL is a little more stable. You see the same players year over year, but when contracts expire, when it's time to pay people, those greedy owners really don't want to hand out bags of cash.
No, they do
and
not.
So players leave because they get offended by things.
Yep.
Players leave because they feel like they can earn more money somewhere else. Players demand a trade because they don't like it and their contract isn't up yet. So that's what makes free agency fun. You finally get those big name players out of there. You get things shaken up.
Makes it really interesting.
So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some of the bigger news of the bigger name players. So starting off with the defending Super Bowl runner-ups. Sorry, Debbie. Defending Super Bowl runner-ups, Philadelphia Eagles, go ahead and don't re-sign Gardner Johnson, one of the better safeties in the league.
Yeah.
And he goes ahead and signs with the Detroit Lions.
He does.
Which... if you've watched the podcast before, if you've watched really any football at all in the last year, you know that this is definitely a big and important move for the Lions.
Yeah.
Their offense was high powered. They're literally the third-ranked offense in the league.
Especially beginning of the year. They were incredible.
They were dynamic. They would score 40 points a game, no problem.
It was insane.
But they would lose those games because they didn't have a defense. They literally had a marshmallow as their defense.
They did. You can put up 40, but if they score 50...
Doesn't matter with your 40, I mean, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
So signing a big name safety, I anticipate they'll do very similar things throughout the rest of this offseason, signing bigger name players, hopefully drafting some guys. That's definitely a move in the right direction for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Speaking of one of my favorite pieces on the Detroit Lions of last season was Jamal Williams.
Yep.
Okay. Now, unfortunately, Jamal Williams is not going to be playing for the Lions again this year.
He will not.
Which is fine. I'm not a fan of Jamal Williams and the Lions. I'm a fan of Jamal Williams. He's a fun running back.
Yeah.
He
runs hard.
Yeah, he runs hard.
A good guy.
And he's fun off the field as well. When he's giving these interviews,
exactly.
He's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, he is.
But he felt kind of disrespected by the Lions' offer. They wanted to offer him $3.75 million a year, which is a good amount of money, but he felt he could earn something more somewhere else. Turns out he couldn't. He's still in that ballpark. He signed with the Saints for $12 million over 3 years, which is still in that ballpark. But he felt a little disrespected, so he just got out of Detroit, signing with the Saints. Not that it's going to matter because the Saints, they ain't got nothing going for him.
Unless Derek Carr can turn back the clock. But
I don't know about that one.
Not sure about that, yeah.
Derek Carr is not the answer. I'm sorry, Saints fans, if there are any of you. So some of you then may ask yourselves, well, then who is going to run for the Detroit Lions?
That's a great question. Tell me, Austin, who's going to run for the Detroit Lions?
It does seem like a good question. Fortunately, the Lions didn't have to look too far for their replacement running back. They had to look just within the conference, a little over the water. And right there in Chicago, David Montgomery, his contract expired, and he went ahead and signed with the Lions.
Water, and he was like, hey, I can run the ball.
That's exactly what happened. He's like, I can run the ball. Something tells me that he didn't want to re-sign with Chicago because he knew if he stayed there, Justin Fields would just keep running the ball. I mean, and he wouldn't get the carries that he wanted.
There's not much you can do when you have Justin Fields and he's just going to run circles around every team he plays against.
That is a very true story. So, yeah, definitely makes sense. I would probably say an upgrade from Jamal Williams. As much as I love him, David Montgomery has had like 6 consecutive 800-yard plus rushing seasons, and I don't think he's actually been. He's only 25, so he's actually younger. But I don't think he's ever had a season less than 800 yards. Yeah. Jamal Williams only just got to that mark last year, and he's 27. So David Montgomery is a little bit younger. He's had a lot more success in the league. So
he's
definitely
consistent.
Yeah, very consistent. So definitely makes sense to sign him over Jamal Williams. No offense to Williams, but David Montgomery is definitely a better running back.
Yes, sir. Lions are looking scary.
Oh yeah, Lions are looking. I mean, I think that the Lions, with the eventual departure of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, I anticipate that the Lions will be the best team in the NFC North.
I mean,
short of the Vikings.
The North is the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions, and
Bears.
The Bears. Oh yeah. It's just
yeah. So
I mean,
I see the Lions being the best team in the NFC North this year.
I mean, the Bears could put it all together with a good draft this year, though.
They could.
They got all those picks from the Panthers.
Yeah. So with a good draft from the Bears, they could also trade away those picks for other pieces, which I would do, get proven pieces. Yeah. But, do what you may, Bears.
There's a lot of moving around that could be done there, but...
Right. But that's going to be a very young team on the Bears side. So with the experience of the Lions this last year, short of the Vikings putting together a much better defense, because they had legitimately the worst defense in the league last year.
Really?
Short of the Vikings putting together a better defense, I see the Lions being the best team in the NFC North.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Bears, Dante Foreman. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce his name, but we're going to go with it.
Yep.
Dante Foreman, former Panthers running back.
Yep. He was their RB1 after McCaffrey left.
Yeah. After McCaffrey left, if Caden was sitting here, he'd probably be drooling over Dante Foreman. He loved them he loved McCaffrey because everyone loves McCaffrey. He's a great running back.
It's hard to not like McCaffrey.
But then Dante Foreman went ahead and stepped up, and he did just as well, if not better. He literally did better than McCaffrey was doing in Carolina. So, then his contract went ahead and expired because he was only on a 1-year deal. And then he went ahead and signed with the Bears for 1 year, $3 million, which, pretty good. Very cheap deal, but, he's got to prove himself a little bit more. Yeah. And he's looking to earn his money. So hopefully this year being productive, he'll earn that.
Yes, sir.
All right. Speaking of the Panthers.
It's just a big roundabout.
It is just a big
running back circle.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Is I don't know why. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to really think through this some more. But for some reason, quarterbacks, they don't move very much.
Yeah.
Right? Big name quarterbacks, they don't go anywhere. Wide receivers, they kind of sit there. Defenses, they don't really go places. The only position that really just circulates year over year is running backs.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Except for the Browns. The Browns have everything else circulating. Just keep Nick Chubb.
Just keep Nick Chubb. Yeah, Sue Ellen is a Browns fan as well.
Sadly,
in case you guys didn't. What do you mean sadly? We love the Browns.
Yeah. You're right.
Oh my gosh. Get another one on here. I don't want this one.
Hey, Margaret, get over here. You something.
Yeah, Browns need to keep Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt won't stay.
I would love to see Kareem Hunt come back, but I doubt it.
But anyways, the Panthers, they went ahead and snagged from those defending Super Bowl runner-ups. They took Miles Sanders, so I don't exactly know who the Eagles are going to have at running back. Maybe they'll draft someone, maybe they'll sign someone, maybe they'll trade for someone. But as of now, they don't really have a guy to run the ball, which is fine. I mean, the season is still months and months away. Yeah. They've got plenty of time.
Plenty of people out there.
But the Panthers...
Maybe they'll get Ezekiel Elliott.
Hey, maybe Ezekiel Elliott. He's on free agency.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Panthers signed Miles Sanders, continuing their quest of becoming the best team in the NFC South, which is very possible because the Panthers also signed Andy Dalton. Now, you may think to yourself, well, Andy Dalton isn't actually that good. He's kind of a trash quarterback. If this was 2014, maybe they'd be excited.
Yeah.
Well, good news. Obviously, last week, everyone saw the Panthers traded for the first overall pick, so they'll probably be drafting C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. My personal opinion is they'll draft Stroud, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton, though,
Andy
Dalton's been around the block. He's been in the league for a number of years now. He doesn't make great decisions with the football, but he's been in the league forever. He was a viable starter for the Bengals for a while.
He's a good vet.
Yeah. So if I had to bring a young guy in, a rookie, and he's going to be starting,
have Andy Dalton
I want Andy Dalton sitting on the bench right next to him because he's been in the league. He's been around the block. I like him. And he's not like one of the old guys like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers would never teach a new guy because Aaron Rodgers wants to be the guy.
An old guy with an ego. He's just...
Well, that's because his ego's been taken from him because he sucks.
True. That's a fair point.
But the Panthers also went ahead and signed, again from the Cincinnati Bengals, Hayden Hurst, their tight end. So now they have an actual tight end. I don't even know who their tight end was before this. I can't think of a notable Panthers tight end since Greg Olsen.
They had one guy, I don't even remember his name, but Caden picked him up one week in fantasy, and he was convinced that he was going to drop like 20. I told him he wasn't, and then he just didn't catch the ball one time all week. I forget his name. Caden's probably in the chat. He'll let us know eventually. But that guy was not it.
Big news as of, I think, yesterday, Panthers also went ahead and signed free agent Adam Thielen.
Yeah, I noticed that wasn't on the list, but that is a big one.
That is a huge one.
They need a receiver now that they got rid of DJ Moore. So maybe Adam Thielen can kind of fill that hole.
I think it was for a 4-year, $40+ million contract.
Which is kind of crazy because he's old, and that goes into, he's what, 32?
Yeah, that sounds about right. He's a little older. His prime was about 3 years ago, and then he's kind of lost relevance since then.
Yeah, he's 32.
Yeah.
So he will be in Carolina until he is 36.
He'll probably retire at that point.
Yeah, if it is 4 years. I mean, I think that's what it is.
I think it's 4 years.
Something like that.
Which is fine.
It was Tommy Tremble.
Tommy Tremble. That's the one. That guy sucks. But Hayden Hurst is a stud, so. Shout out to you, Caden.
Hey, he's out of our division now. He's out of the AFC.
He is. That's what I like to hear.
That's good stuff right there. Yep. So Panthers going ahead and trying their best to be the best team in the NFC South.
Their front office has been very busy, and it doesn't end here. Draft coming up. And
Exactly.
They got a lot of freedom and creative liberties.
I would not be shocked if the Panthers went ahead and ran that division this year. I don't see any other team between the Buccaneers, Falcons, or Saints being close to their level at this point. The only thing that can stop them is coaching, and they just hired a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
So, probably not. I see Panthers owning that division, making the playoffs, no big deal. Caden will probably rubbing that in my face the entirety of next season, but it's fine because the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl. So
and the Browns beat the Panthers last year, so we don't play them this year. And
we got that over for the next 5 years.
Yeah, the schedule like exactly.
All right, staying in the NFC South, Jameis Winston decides to stay in New Orleans. This has been a shock to a number of people because obviously they brought in Derek Carr, so it's like you're clearly not going to start. But I do see staying. I mean, you were a backup last year.
Yeah,
not a terrible gig. Really thought that he was going to try to get out of there, but where else are you going to go?
Yeah.
Plus, Derek Carr sucks. So you might even get some playing time. You never know. You never know, guys.
Might get hurt.
In the NFC South again, with probably the biggest quarterback move of this offseason. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Baker Mayfield. Yes.
He's been around the block ever since the Browns.
Yes. Now, I would like to clear the air a little bit on Baker. I don't mind the guy.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, like, I mean, here's the thing.
His commercials are funny.
Here's the thing.
He's a likable guy.
You know, I saw the thing. I'm pretty sure everyone saw it as one of the NFL memes page, and it was like the circle of Baker Mayfield. And it was like, you know, he signs with a new team. There's a "We Are Here."
Yep.
You know, he doesn't have any. He performs.
Yep.
Films a new commercial, sucks, and then it restarts the circle. That's how it is.
That's exactly what happens.
But look, I don't mind. I don't mind him. Is he a good quarterback? No, he's not. If the 2018 draft happened again, would he go first overall? No. Would he go in the 5th round? Probably.
Yeah.
Okay, but he wouldn't go first overall. But I have to give the guy credit. I have to love the guy because I rode with him for all the way through the 2021 season. He took us to the playoffs, which no one thought was ever going to happen in the history of Cleveland. So
we
won a game. We almost beat the Chiefs.
Smacked the Steelers.
No, we killed the Steelers. No, it was the cherry on top.
That was a great game.
We almost beat the Chiefs. We only lost by I think it was 17-22 at the end of the game.
One ref call.
Oh yeah, that was a crappy call. Still salty about that, but that's fine. All right. Almost done with the NFC South. There's a lot of NFC South moves here.
Yeah, there is.
Marcus Mariota goes ahead and signs with Debbie's Philadelphia Eagles for a 1-year deal. This, to me, makes a lot of sense. It really does. If you think of the Ravens, right? You have Lamar Jackson. He's a running quarterback. He doesn't throw too well.
Yeah.
Who's his backup? Tyler Huntley. He's a running quarterback who doesn't throw too well. Okay, you don't have to change the system at all, right? Jalen Hurts. He's a running quarterback. He throws pretty well. Marcus Mariota, he's a running quarterback. He doesn't throw all that great, but he's a running quarterback.
Yeah.
You know?
He plays a similar style to
exactly
Jalen Hurts, and therefore, if he gets, God forbid, if he does get hurt, then Mariota doesn't have to change system at all.
Exactly. He's not like with this last season when Jalen Hurts got hurt and then Gardner Minshew had to come in. Yeah. Gardner Minshew is not a running quarterback. He's more of a pocket passer, but he's pretty elusive. I like watching him. But they had to change the whole system, right? They couldn't run the RPOs. They couldn't run the quarterback draws. They had to stick with passing. So it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, well, they did. Lost. But that was also to the Cowboys.
Gardner Minshew also looked really cool with his aviators and Top Gun outfit. So
facts. Gardner Minshew is actually really cool.
Exactly. I agree.
I really like Gardner. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I like this move from both Mariota's standpoint and the Eagles' standpoint to sign him. Final news that I have here from the NFC South is Leonard Fournette has been cut from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why they cut him, I don't know. Maybe he was getting paid too much. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't performing, which is true.
He was not performing.
But something tells me that the Buccaneers, in the signing of Mayfield, in the cutting of Fournette, in the not really making too many moves this offseason, they are preparing for the greatest tank the world has ever seen.
I mean, that kind of makes sense, honestly.
That's what I think they're doing, dude. Yeah. They realize, they're like, okay, look, 2 years ago,
old and worth too much, and we don't really got anywhere else to go except down. So,
yep.
Might as well just embrace the
2 years ago, they're like, oh yeah, we got Tom Brady. We got all these free agents that want to sign with us for next to nothing so they can come win a Super Bowl. This is amazing. And then Tom Brady retires and he comes back and they're like, oh, we're going to run it back. We got this, guys. And then they didn't because they suck.
They did not have that.
And then Tom Brady left. And then all of the free agents left because who wants to play with, I don't know, whoever they had at backup. I don't even know who's backup.
It's Baker Mayfield now.
Baker Mayfield's the starting guy now. So who wants to play with Baker? No one. What are you going to do with your running back? Cut him. They're tanking. They're taking for the tank.
That's facts. Yeah, that's definitely what they're doing.
100%. Out of the AFC South, yeah, that's the division. I always forget the name of that division. The Texans make Laramie Tunsil, he's a left tackle. You make him the highest paid tackle in NFL history. They signed him to a 3-year, $75 million deal with $50 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Highest paid. He said that he wanted to be the highest paid. There you go.
Got it.
And what's so crazy is that he, do you remember the stuff with his draft? Back in...
Educate me.
I want to say it's 2016 he got drafted. I think it was the same year as Ezekiel Elliott.
No, I know what you're talking about. Was he the one that was like, There's like a video of him smoking or something like that.
Yeah.
And then, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was projected to go like in the top like 3.
Yeah,
and then that video
he
surfaced
just
the day before the draft, and he dropped all the way to the middle of the first round. I think he was picked up by the Dolphins at that point, and then he moved around a little bit. Now he's on the Texans.
Man,
so,
that's crazy. I forgot that was him.
Yeah. Look how far he's come. Doesn't affect him anymore. Now he's the highest paid.
Yep.
Austin.
Yeah.
Blaine Gabbert was the former Jaguars QB. He backed up Tom Brady.
Oh, Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like he was re-signed with the Bucks.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that name?
Oh, he re-signed with the Bucks.
Blaine Gabbert. Yeah.
That is an elite name. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
The name game stopped here. I wish my last name was Gabbert.
That is kind of a cool name.
That's just
Sue Ellen Gabbert. I can see it.
That'd be good right there. You should legally change your name.
Yeah.
I should try it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that guy in my entire life.
Yeah, me either.
So no disrespect to you or your family, but I don't know who you are, so you're not relevant.
You do have a cool last name though. Shout out to you, Mr. Gabbert.
All right. Additionally, from the Texans, probably one of the most notable names on the Texans, not named Dameon Pierce or Laramie Tunsil, is Brandon Cooks. Well, no longer. Brandon Cooks has been traded to the Dallas Cowboys for a 5th and a 6th round pick, the 5th coming in 2024 and the 6th in 2025.
That's
a bad move. Look,
that's a bad move.
That's
Texans,
bad.
If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging.
That's a true story. Now,
you know what I'm saying?
To be completely fair, Brandon Cooks probably wasn't going to play for them this year. Okay, if they didn't trade him, he was just going to refuse to play because he didn't want to be there anymore. Which is
everyone else knew that.
So. Everyone knew it, so everyone was going to offer them pennies on the dollar for him because what else are you going to do? He's just going to run out his contract, then get cut, and that's going to be the end of it. What I wish had happened was that the Browns had gone after him. I know that we don't have too many picks left in the arsenal, but we could have spared a 2025, 2026 pick.
Easily.
Bring that up to like a 4th instead of a 5th and 6th in 2025. Get him. He wanted to come play with the Browns to be with Deshaun Watson again.
Yeah, exactly. They already got the connection.
Yeah, I was really hoping that was going to happen.
We could definitely have offered more than that.
Unfortunately, didn't happen.
Yeah.
Whatever. He wanted to stay in Texas.
Offering random 5th and 6th round picks for receivers. We just traded for Amari Cooper last year.
Exactly.
Off of, what was it, 4th? Something like that?
Yeah, we'll take all the Texas quarterbacks or
receivers.
Wide receivers. Yeah.
Yep.
We got a question in the chat before we move on. Caden Summers asked, he asked, where do you think D-Hop will get traded? Panthers? ?
No, not the Panthers. I don't even know what the Panthers have left to offer, dude. The Panthers, I mean, they
it would
do
be interesting. Don't get me wrong.
They're giving like everything away. So I don't know what they got left in the arsenal there. Maybe they'll trade more receivers away for him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where do I see D-Hop going? Wherever D-Hop wants. I don't know.
I heard rumors about him wanting to go to the Cowboys, was it?
Yeah.
One of them?
Yeah, Cowboys was one of them. He wanted to go to the Browns, but I don't know what we have to offer for him.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him there, but I don't know.
He's already got the connection with Deshaun.
Yeah.
We just don't got a lot of draft stock left to trade away, so I mean.
Yeah. I don't know where he's going to go. Realistically, it's just going to be wherever gives him the best contract.
Yeah.
Wherever, makes enough of a move towards him and offers enough for him. But he's not staying in Arizona.
He has shown in the last year that he is still elite.
He's good. He's good. As long as he's not on PEDs.
As long as he's not on PEDs, exactly.
All right. So then, keeping with the Cowboys a little bit, the Cowboys go ahead and re-sign Cooper Rush. Obviously, pretty decent move. Cooper Rush was pretty good for them when Dak got hurt last year. To the point,
Dak, he was really good.
Yes, to the point where people were saying maybe we should just start Cooper Rush instead of Dak, which was a fair point because his play was better. Dak was getting paid too much to sit on the bench.
Yeah.
So you can't do that. But Dak Prescott threw the most picks in the league, so maybe you would have been better off to go ahead and start Cooper Rush. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Most picks in the league on 4 less games. That is bad. That is
really
trash.
bad.
So Cooper Rush will be backing up Dak Prescott, and even though Dak might not be the best, I know where you can go to get the best deck.
Really?
That's
Tell
right.
me.
K&F Construction has been serving the Northeast Ohio community for over 16 years, specializing in composite decks. K&F Construction takes the time and effort to provide the service and product you deserve for your home. You can call K&F Construction today at 330-575-2465 for a free estimate. Again, that's 330-575-2465. You can also visit kfdex.com, which is linked in the description. K&F Construction, let us build your dream backyard.
Heck yeah. I feel like the transitions are just getting better. I love it.
I do my best. All right. Last little bit of news from the Cowboys side of the aisle. They went ahead and released Ezekiel Elliott, former Ohio State Buckeye. So I do have a special place in my heart for Ezekiel Elliott in that 2015 run where we went and won the Natty. So,
Yes, sir. Love Zeke. Jumped into what was it?
Salvation Army.
Salvation
Army bucket.
Yep.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Best celebration I've ever seen in my life.
Love it. Feed him. He's hungry. He's always hungry.
Yes, sir.
So they went ahead and cut him, which does... Look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll continue to say it to the day I die. I don't understand cutting players.
Yeah, neither do I.
Okay? I really don't. Because you can trade. Like, I don't know.
It's like, instead of getting something for nothing, you would choose to get nothing.
For nothing. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You have a player like Zeke. He's good. Is he as good as he was? No. He's a little past his prime, but he's really good. He's good at blocking. He's good in short yardage. Is he explosive? Probably not, but that's fine. You trade him to someone that needs him.
Exactly.
Someone will trade you something. And you know what you do? You get picks out of that trade. You know what do those picks? You draft a guy. You know what that guy costs you? Nothing. They literally, their rookie contracts are so inexpensive. Okay? Like you could probably pay them in tomato soup cans, and that would be acceptable for the NFL. They get paid nothing compared to everyone else.
Tomato soup cans.
Yeah. Couldn't it be for like cutting costs?
Right. So that's the only reason that you would cut a player is
if you have no offers for the guy and you just want to cut costs.
Right. No one's trading for him. No one's giving you offers. You should put him on, in my opinion, you should put him on the trade block first.
Yeah.
If anyone offers anything, then you go ahead and take the best one. If no one offers anything, right, there's then a certain point. It's like around the middle of June to where for most players, if you don't cut them, the next year's contract comes into effect. Yeah. So then it doesn't matter. All that guaranteed money for that year.
I don't understand
right
why
there.
You wouldn't wait till then to cut Zeke.
Exactly. I don't know why you wouldn't wait till literally the day before. No offers. Cut.
I mean, I guess it makes sense so that you can have the salary cap so you can then negotiate with other players to bring them in. But at the same time...
But you could just operate as though you were going to cut... Like, you're not going to pay him anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So just operate as though you're... That's empty space.
That makes sense.
But whatever. I'm not an NFL GM. Maybe I should be. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe that's a terrible take. Maybe a team needs to hire me.
I will say, Zeke's last play as a Cowboy was that one play. Him lined up in the center. That's it. The Dak just gets
Yeah, that's rough. That's a rough way to go out.
That's a rough way to go out.
6 years in Dallas, and that's how you go out. That's pretty rough. All right. Continuing with the never-ending lore of Aaron Rodgers and where he shall go. This might not be directly related to Aaron Rodgers. My voice is going up because I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it is. The Jets go ahead and sign Allen Lazard. If you don't know who he is, he was literally the only receiver on the Green Bay Packers last year.
Except for Christian Watson.
Watson at the end there.
But like, for the majority of the season,
yeah,
he was the only receiver that Aaron Rodgers could rely on.
Yeah, and so, it was revealed kind of that Aaron Rodgers gave the Jets kind of a wish list.
Yeah.
He's like, look, here's the deal. I want to come play for you guys. You guys just need to get the trade right with Green Bay. And Green Bay will trade him away because, again, what are you going to do? Pay him to sit there?
Exactly.
They don't want him. So he gave the Jets a wish list. He's like, I'll come play for you guys, but I'm going to want Allen Lazard. I'm going to want Jordy Nelson.
Yep.
I'm going to want Devontae Adams. I'm going to want Randall Cobb. I'm going to want Terrell Owens. Okay? He's listing players.
Odell Beckham.
I'm going to want Odell Beckham. He just starts listing guys. And they're like, Aaron, you know that Garrett Wilson just won Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You know that he's like one of the best young receivers in the league, right? He's like, I don't care.
Give me Jordy Nelson.
I'm pretty sure he's dead, but give me him. So, Aaron Rodgers definitely going to the Jets. It's just a matter of when the Jets are finally going to get the trade right with the Packers. And it seems like the Jets are holding out on the Packers because the Packers want a little bit more than the Jets are willing to offer. And the Jets know that they can wait him out because eventually the Packers will be like, fine, just give us whatever you're offering. We'll give you Rodgers, whatever.
Yeah.
So the Jets seem to have the leverage in this situation. We'll see what ends up happening, though. All right. Our boy.
Love this man.
Love this man with all my heart. Jacoby Brissett signs with the football team. Okay, he is going to be competing for a starting role against Sam Howell. Now, Caden is of the belief that he's just there to back up Sam Howell, and they just told him that he was competing for the QB1 spot just so he'd come. That may be true, but I think that Jacoby Brissett will win the starting job because Sam Howell sucks, and Jacoby Brissett is.
He proved it last year. Last year he was playing great in the absence of Deshaun Watson. Sad that he has to go play for a sucky team like the football team.
Yeah, we could play for a sucky team like us.
Exactly.
No, we're actually going to be good this year, though. We got some good pieces this offseason.
Yeah.
We need another receiver, but overall, we're making some good moves.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
got to beef up the defense a little bit.
I really hope
that in the draft.
Really hope
with your rusty quarterback.
He's fine. He's on
He's
rusty.
Not rusty. He's not rusty anymore.
He was rusty then.
It just took a
little.
He's
not rusty now.
We'll see.
It'll break off the rest. But yeah, I hope with all my heart that he goes ahead and he wins the starting job. I want him to start. I want him to succeed for the rest of his career. Yep. I posted a goodbye on my Instagram story when he went. I said that I love him and I hope that he starts over there. Wish him the best because
love that guy.
He definitely views your story.
Yeah, he looks at my story. It's the whole thing. We're real tight.
Yeah, you guys were DMing each other.
Me and Jacoby
Brissett. Jacoby Brissett was like, "Hey man, you want to come play for the football team with us? You can be our starting receiver."
I was like, "Look, dude, I'd love to, but unfortunately, the podcast it's a whole thing. I can't just up and quit. I got to wait till my contract expires." So we're still in contact, but hopefully that we can. Get that
maybe he'll sign with the K&A Football Podcast instead.
Probably when his contract expires, we'll offer him another deal. We tried to get him this year, just didn't have the money to get him this time.
David's backyard is probably a better stadium than the football team's stadium anyway. Their stadium's falling apart, but we'll see what happens.
All right. And then speaking of backup,
Caden just said that the Texans just signed Dalton Schultz.
Dalton Schultz? Oh,
Dalton
really?
Schultz. Dalton.
That's my Dynasty Fantasy Football tight end.
That's pretty good.
That sucks for me.
They just signed him, apparently. Yeah. So Dalton Schultz was the tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. He was a very good tight end.
Him and CeeDee Lamb were the only.
Yeah. He's pretty young. He really came onto the scene out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He was really, really good for Cooper Rush. Is a big target. He was open all the time, so he was really a check down guy for Cooper Rush. I definitely see why the Texans would go after him.
Yeah.
Bringing in a young guy, probably Bryce Young, give him a guy that is going to block well for you and be open. Good move from the Texans there. Travis will be really happy with that one.
Yeah, it only sucks because now in my Dynasty Fantasy Football League, I have to have a tight end for the Texans because the Texans never have anyone good.
That's rough.
It's all right.
That's rough right there. You probably hold on to him.
I also have I have David Njoku.
Oh yeah, he's pretty good.
Oh yeah, he's very all right.
He's all right, I guess. So speaking of backup quarterbacks, the guy that I referenced earlier, the guy with the stash, the guy with the swag, Gardner Minshew,
absolute dog,
former starting quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars, former backup of the Philadelphia Eagles. He signed with the Colts as probably a backup role. That's the going theory, is as a backup. But the Colts are highly considering drafting a quarterback.
Yeah.
And other than CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, I think that all the rest of the quarterbacks in this draft are pretty mid at best.
Yeah.
So I anticipate that Gardner will...
Some of them have high upsides.
They have high upsides, but a couple of them are just off-brand Zach Wilson.
That is true.
Talking about you, Will Levis. You don't fool me. So I anticipate Gardner Minshew to start a couple of games this year. I don't know how many, but I see a few as a viable option there. Speaking of the Colts went ahead and cut Matt Ryan after just 1 year.
I mean,
Rip Bozo. He did terribly.
He was awful.
Yeah.
Matty
so
Ice.
Where will he go next? Anywhere? Will anyone sign him?
Probably not. He's probably going.
I was gonna say
to
probably.
his couch.
I was saying probably.
Really?
I think someone will sign him. Not for very much. Yeah,
maybe for like a backup.
It's a backup role. Not for very much.
I'd take him on the Browns for a backup.
Random hunch. He will get signed by Green Bay. Random hunch. It'll come true.
No, they're going with Jordan Love.
Trust.
No, yeah, Jordan.
No,
Love.
as a backup. As a backup.
As a backup for Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
I think that if the Falcons or the Buccaneers start to do well, and Matt Ryan is still sitting on his couch somewhere like Jeff Saturday.
Go back to the Falcons.
I could see them bringing him back. I could see it. A potential Panthers move there where you get rid of your guy and then sign him for a little bit there when you start to do well and you need him, and then you go ahead and release him again.
Yep.
All right, last little bits of free agency news. Darren Waller, the day after his wedding, was traded to the Giants.
It was the day after his wedding?
Yep.
Wow.
Got married and then got the call and was like, hey,
that's wild.
By the way, you've been traded to the Giants.
You couldn't have waited like a week or so?
No. So congratulations, Darren. You and your new wife get to move to New York.
Yep.
Which isn't all bad. He's a pretty good tight end.
He's good.
I don't know who the heck Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be throwing to. I guess Devontae Adams, and that's it. So, which is all you need, realistically.
That's fair.
As long as he can throw it to him. Unfortunately, Jimmy Garoppolo isn't that good at throwing. Yeah. He's really good at handing the ball off. Really, as Caden would say, he's really good at this motion.
He's very good at that motion.
So,
he does that quite often.
That's his upside.
I thought Darren Waller was going to take a leap this year, and he just didn't. But I mean,
well, he was hurt for like the whole year. Look, I thought that too. I drafted him really early in a lot of my fantasy drafts. Yeah, really early, and then he went ahead.
I still think he could take that leap this year, though.
I think he could. I think that he's very good. He was just injured for the entirety of last year. That hamstring injury killed him. And it also killed my fantasy teams. You hear that, Darren? I couldn't get a tight end. Okay, I had nobody because no one would trade Kelsey, and Kelsey's the only viable tight end.
That is true.
I had to sign Njoku. Yeah, I couldn't get him either because everyone realized, oh wait, there's only like 3 tight ends in the entire league that are good. Yeah,
that's basically it.
All right, finally, the New England Patriots sign Super Bowl champion Juju Smith-Schuster.
The internet had fun with this one. Did you see all that?
I did not actually.
They had some fun with this one. So I don't remember the exact tweet, but in the past, Juju had taken pictures with like a Patriots fan or something like that.
Oh, I've seen this.
Ew, no, not Patriots fans or something like that. He had said some nasty stuff about the Patriots, and people went back and found all those tweets. They're like, hey, remember when you said this? And then remember when you said that about the Patriots?
No.
Now you're getting paid by them.
That's weird.
That's kind of crazy. Go do your TikTok dances. Make us more money.
Go TikTok, boy. Go dance. I have seen the things about if he can get Bill Belichick to do a TikTok dance, the internet will explode.
That would be actually the most wild thing I've ever seen.
That'd be the greatest thing ever.
That'd be so funny.
I need Bill Belichick doing a TikTok dance. All right, so a couple of things really quick before we get out of here. So that's all of like the major news of like the players that are going places, doing things, what the teams are up to.
Yeah.
Turns out, I did know this, but I've never really looked into it before. The teams in the NFL can request potential rule changes for the upcoming season.
I actually really like that. That's like...
Yeah.
So good stuff. I didn't know about that until we had talked about it before the episode.
Yeah.
And that's a really good rule.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
A couple of these are pretty good proposals, and I'd like to see them enacted. A couple of them, I'm a little confused by. So we'll walk through them, see if they're good or not. So the first one was presented by the Philadelphia Eagles. Their proposition was that players get to wear the number 0.
I didn't even know they weren't allowed to wear number 0.
Well, can you think of someone who wears the number 0?
No,
in the
I
NFL?
can't.
No, it's not a thing. You can wear it in college, but you can't wear it in the NFL. Why? I don't know.
I mean,
and there's certain like regulations to what players can wear, like in what position. So the Eagles also proposed for kickers to be able to wear the numbers 1 through 49 and then 90 through 99, because apparently that's not really a thing.
Yeah, kickers.
I don't know.
Kickers in recent memory are just single digits.
Yeah. Huh. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. This is weird. I don't know why there's rules on who can wear what, but
yeah, that doesn't make no sense.
Whatever.
But I mean, it's all right.
Yeah. So then, also suggested by the Eagles, they are proposing a change to the onside kick. The current rule on the onside kick, as most people know, is your team can opt for just a regular kickoff after you score, or you can opt for an onside kick. And realistically, what that is after you kick the ball is live. On any kick, the ball is live. Okay. You have to wait till the ball crosses 10 yards, and then if you recover the ball, your team gets it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. The Eagles are proposing that instead of an onside kick, It's an offensive 4th and 20. If you convert, you get the ball. If you don't convert, other team's ball right there.
I think that would spice things up a little bit.
I think so too.
Really interesting.
I think so too, because 4th and 20, it's like you don't expect your team to make that if they're going for it on 4th and 20. That's like an end of game. Like you got to get it.
It's a plausible thing that could happen.
Yeah, but it's like it happens. Teams get it. It's a thing. So I personally like that. I would like that better than the onside kick.
I didn't see a lot of converted onside kicks this year.
No,
there were hardly any.
I think the statistics on it is like 0.2% of onside kicks that are kicked are recovered. It's like incredibly
that's
low.
Wild.
So I see this as a more viable option. I think the NFL will probably adopt it, if not this year, then in very near future, because they really like that high scoring, really like the offensive focused games. So I can see them doing that.
Allows for more comebacks, makes it more interesting.
Yeah,
it's a good idea. Good job, Eagles.
Yeah, I like that, Eagles. Debbie, did you have a question to ask?
Yes. I was curious. So we're talking a lot about, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is probably going to the Jets. My question is, do you think that the Jets could win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers either this year or next year?
That's a great question.
They have such a good young core. It's hard to doubt them if they can get a vet quarterback like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. My answer to that would be I don't necessarily see that they would go ahead and win a Super Bowl. I can't see that because the AFC actually is really good. In the NFC, you only actually have 2 teams that are good. So in the NFC, you only have the Eagles and the 49ers, and those are your only 2 good teams. In the AFC, on the other hand, you have the Chiefs, you have the Bengals, you have the Bills, you have the Dolphins. They're pretty good. The Ravens recently. With Lamar. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that are good.
Dolphins could be scary now that they got Jalen Ramsey too.
Right, and you have Bills, Dolphins, and Jets all in the same division, so they all play each other twice a year, and then the Patriots forget about them. So I wouldn't put money on the Jets winning a Super Bowl in the next 2 years. Do I think it could happen? Of course I do. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. I would love to see him win another Super Bowl before he retires. They have a great core. Obviously, they have a great running back, great receivers, good offensive line. Their defense is absolutely electric. Yeah. So I can 100% see them doing it. I wouldn't put money on it, though.
I feel like it also depends on whether or not those young guys are able to take a leap and continue to improve. I feel like if they stay complacent, then it might hurt their chance a little bit. But like Breece Hall coming back from injury, he was obviously stellar in the beginning of the year. And if he can come back and be that same guy, they could be scary. They could make some noise.
Yeah. Just got an update here that the Houston Texans signed former Buffalo Bills running back Devin Singletary to a 1-year deal worth up to $3.5 million. Now, I know that I just got a text from Travis that says, "What the heck are we doing? Why would we do that? We have Dameon Pierce." Let me answer that question.
He probably said exactly that.
Let me answer that question for you. The answer to that would be you need backups.
Yep.
1-year deal means that he's a backup. Devin Singletary is a very mid running back. Buffalo Bills need a guy now. They've needed a guy.
James Cook.
Hey, James Cook.
He was good option. End of the last year.
Yeah, he was.
He's my dynasty running back, one of the many I have.
You have so many players in dynasty.
Yeah, so, I have so many young players that could end up sucking, but could end up being good. We'll see what happens.
So decent move by the Texans, obviously as a backup role, but we'll see how they end up doing.
Debbie's also typing
Debbie's
out.
working. Debbie's working hard.
I thought you were about to write Gardner. Wait.
That already happened, Debbie. Get out of here.
It's all right. It was valid effort. I didn't know that happened.
So into the other rule changes here by the Los Angeles Chargers. They would like to amend. I'm not going to read all of it because I have all of the rules sections, articles, and then subsections. So I'm not going to read all of them. But they want to make an adjustment to the play clock following an instant replay reversal, consistent with other timing rules. No idea what that means.
I mean, sounds cool.
It
sounds like it can make sense.
I felt like they were doing that already, but
good for you, Chargers.
Good for you, Chargers. Maybe that'll let you not charger it as much. Detroit Lions would like to amend a rule that would expand the coach's ability to challenge. They want him to be able to challenge on plays that include personal fouls called on the field. So they would, like, if a ref throws the flag, calls a personal foul.
Or no, not roughing the passer. That's later.
Yeah.
But
they would like the coach to be able to review that or throw the challenge flag. And if they reverse the call, then I don't think it's going to happen.
It would be interesting, though. But, I mean, it is hard to do something like that because a lot of the personal fouls can be just like the ref's opinions on what they deem to be
a little more rough than you should be.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a lot of these are by Detroit and Houston, so it seems to me like the losing teams just are really salty about losing all the time.
And there's few from the Rams here too. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. Another one by Detroit. They would like to initiate a third challenge. Currently, teams only have 2 challenges, and if you get one right, then you get one again.
Yes.
But you only have 2 maximum. So they want to up it to 3. That one won't happen. Get out of here, Lions.
I mean, I like the idea of keeping the refs accountable, but it just slows the game down so much.
It does.
And it's already a long game.
Yeah. Not as long as baseball, though, which they did fix a little bit.
Baseball is very boring.
But they tried that.
Yeah, the batter shot clock or whatever.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
A little weird.
I like it, though.
All right. Also, by Detroit, they would like to expand the replay officials' jurisdiction to allow consultation regarding penalty assessment. Basically, what that means is currently the replay official can only replay scoring plays, plays that the coach deems need to be reviewed, plays that the referees on the field deem to be reviewed, in any play within the last 2 minutes. So Detroit would like the replay officials to, something to happen, anything, any call that the refs make.
Yeah.
They would like it to be reviewed immediately. And if it's wrong, they want them to ask the refs to review it on the field.
That's kind of...
Which is fair enough, right? Get the call right.
Sense,
but again, you're going to slow the game down. Yeah. It's already around a 3-hour game, exactly. 3.5 hours. We're going to end up with a 5-hour game.
Everybody's attention span is so short now because we're all scrolling on TikTok watching Subway Surfers with a Family Guy clip above. Shout out to Debbie for making us the K&A football reel with Subway Surfers playing on the bottom. Who knows? Maybe he'll turn this little spiel into a
that'd be really
rant
good.
With Subway Surfers playing on the bottom. If there's Subway Surfers playing below me right now, just know I did not approve of this message.
It's going to happen now. Don't you worry.
Anyways, moving on.
All right. By the Houston Texans, again, they would like the replay officials' jurisdiction to allow for review on failed 4th down attempts. Why? I don't know. Because they do. They want to see some fouls. They want to see some penalties. They want to see the game take longer. I don't know. Los Angeles Rams, they would like to make fouls for roughing the passer called on the field subject to replay assist and or review by a coach's challenge. This is definitely just because of the old quarterbacks that get roughed all the time, and the refs really like them, and so they throw flags all the time.
I hate all the roughing the passer calls.
I do too.
So, I mean,
yeah,
I'm all for this.
This is going to be one of those things. I don't know if you remember, but in 2019, after the terrible missed call in the NFC, I think it was the divisional round, where the Saints were playing
I do kind of remember this. This
Saints,
was 2019?
2018 was the year that this happened.
Okay.
Because it was 2019 because the year had rolled over.
Yeah.
But the Saints were playing the Rams. This was the year that the Rams went to the Super Bowl and lost to Tom Brady. Drew Brees was throwing a streak down the sideline towards the end of the game, and the Rams guy just comes in, lights him up before the ball is even within 5 yards of him, and the refs don't call anything. So they went ahead, and the next year they were like, okay, fine, we hear you guys. That was really bad. So what we're going to do as the glorious NFL that we are going to allow you to throw a challenge flag, and you can challenge for pass interference. How does that sound? And everyone was like, oh, that sounds really good. I really like that. Unfortunately, then every single time someone thought there was roughing the passer, which, by the way, is every play, or not roughing the passer, but pass interference, out comes the challenge flag. Yeah. There were just so many challenge flags. It was a disaster. So they took it away the next year. If they implement this with the roughing the passer, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah.
They'll do it, and then they'll be like, oh, wait a minute, that was a terrible idea. Gone. It's gone.
Yep. I agree.
All right. Last one here. Last proposed rule change is by the New York Jets. They would like to expand the crackback prohibition to players who go in motion and go beyond the center to block. They want people to
flow block a defender below the waist.
I don't know what that means.
Listen, New York Jets, what does this mean?
What does this mean?
Can you give us a translation in English, please? Maybe it's because I don't play football. Maybe it's because I'm just not that big of a football fan. But that sounds like gibberish.
Yeah, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. Here's what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened right now.
All right.
I'm
envisioning it.
The Jets owner, he's sitting in his office. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's sitting there in his large office. It's got glass everywhere, and he's got pictures of Aaron Rodgers everywhere, and he's got this table. Right, he's got this table. It got a lasagna dinner on it with a single candle, and it's lit. And on the other side of the table is a picture of Aaron Rodgers attached to a mop. Okay, and he's sitting there and he's enjoying his meal, and then he gets these emails, and he's like, "Oh, what is this? The Eagles proposed 2 rules. The Chargers proposed a rule. The Lions proposed 2 rules. Mm-hmm. The Texans proposed a rule. The Rams proposed a rule. Well, I don't want to be left out of this party." And so then he just went to he just typed the first word, and the first word was
he typed in new football rule to ChatGPT and let it type out
and he let it type out the rest, and he was like, "This is exactly what I want.
This is what we
need." And
then
he sent it to Roger Goodell, and Roger Goodell was like, "I don't know what that is, but we're not gonna do it."
That's exactly what happened. I can see that exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what went on.
He was like, "Aaron, look at how much we're doing for the league. Aaron, this is why you should come to the Jets. We're trying to change rules."
As Careless Whisper plays in the background. So, final bit of news that I have. I don't have this on the notes here, so you won't be able to see this. Mm-hmm. But this week, the NFL owners are meeting to potentially prolong Roger Goodell's contract.
Really?
Yes. So his contract is set to expire in 2024. So he's looking for an extension through 2027, despite the fact that everyone said that when his contract expires in 2024, he will retire. This will be the end of Roger Goodell as the commissioner. Unfortunately, as everyone knows, Roger Goodell is a power-hungry little boy, and he wants more power, and he wants more Tom Brady punishment, and he wants to continue to be a crappy commissioner. And so, instead of retiring, he's going to get an extension worth $200 million over 3 years. If you think I'm joking, I'm not.
Wait, that's actually what the numbers, like $200 million over 3 years?
Yep.
That is crazy. That's actually
crazy
wild.
Money. Yeah.
I mean, if I had the option to get $200 million over 3 years, I would probably take it too. I don't care how power hungry I look. I would probably take $200 million. But I mean,
but
also nobody likes Roger Goodell, so there's that.
Yeah, so sucks too. But yeah, that's the news, man. That's the news from free agency to the proposed rule change, all the way to Roger Goodell being a free agent for the NFL and forcing himself to get signed.
That's crazy.
Really unfortunate there. But yeah, that's what we got for you all. That's all the news, catching you up on all the free agency, all the craziness that brings.
Heck yeah. Can we get some comments down below of get well soon, Caden?
Yeah.
Prayers up for Caden.
Yeah, let's get some of those.
You've been missed.
Show Caden the love. And if there's no comments, that'd be a little bit funnier.
It's all right.
But still comment. We want the algorithm to like us. Still comment. We need the algorithm to like us, guys.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to comment on my account, too. I'm going to say, get well, Caden.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us through this episode. We hope that you guys have enjoyed catching you up on all the free agency. If you missed anything, hope there's going to be a lot more as the season progresses. As we get closer to the draft, there's going to be a lot of news coming out. So
yes, sir. We're just getting started.
Just getting started with the free agency. Hope you guys enjoy, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching this episode of K&A Football. You can listen to our podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and we're also active on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts.
If you made it this far in the video, thank you. You're a real one. We'll see you next time.